I'm JohnBerry555, this is Jedi Ranger, and my next video will most likely be my review of The Mandalorian and Grogu. But this video is not that. Instead, this video is what I hope to get out of that film. And what do I hope to get out of that film is quite simple. I hope for a fun, enjoyable time. I'm not expecting anything profound, a profound message. I don't expect it to make me think in the way that Star Wars Andor did. I just expect a good, fun time. And that's something I think Star Wars does very well. That good, fun time, but also allowing that more complex stuff. Star Wars, I think, is one of the most complex franchises out there because its initial premise is so simple. You can expand on it in any way where you can stay pretty close to, simple messages and all that, fairy tale messaging type of deal. Or you can go into the hard-hitting sci-fi thriller stuff that we saw in Star Wars Andor, and it both equally fits well in the universe. Compare this to Star Trek, which, again, you can have a good, fun sci-fi romp, but when you are lacking in that messaging side of things, that having a statement, it feels empty or it feels hollow, like it's just not quite living up to the expectations of the franchise. We don't always have to live up to the expectations of the franchise. That's part of the experimentation process and all that. And there are certain fans of both franchises that just want the original stuff and nothing deviating from that. And that's how you get a stale franchise. And that's actually one of my fears with The Mandalorian and Grogu, that while it won't have anything different compared to what we saw in like the original trilogy and that will hurt it. That's a fear I have. My hope is that, yes, it doesn't have to be profound or anything, doesn't have to do anything experimental or noteworthy, but I hope it's good. I hope it has a fun time with itself. And I hope it takes itself seriously. Because you can tell jokes, but if the characters are joking, you better be making it a comedy. Or more likely, if the characters are treating it unseriously, it better be a full-on comedy, because then it works as a comedy. And Star Wars has done episodes of TV shows that are way more comedy than other genres, and it does work. But it has to focus on that and the characters treat it appropriately so the audience can treat it appropriately as part of the suspension of disbelief. But in short, I do just hope for that fun time, that enjoyable fun time in the theater. No. Whether I laugh or not doesn't matter. I just hope to have a fun time. Though I want to be laughing with the jokes and not at the film. Does that make sense? If there are moments where I laugh. Because laughter is really good. And sometimes laughter can really elevate a serious moment. All of a sudden the jokes stop. Things are getting really serious. Again, I'm getting more meta now into all this. But ultimately with The Mandalorian and Grogu, I hope for a fun time. I know there's always been some people complaining it online. I'm mostly staying away from engaging with lots of Star Wars stuff online right now, just to avoid accidentally being spoiled, because I do not want to be spoiled. I want to approach it as fresh as I can be with only my knowledge of what came before. And that is actually a valid question. How much of The Mandalorian, how much of the Book of Boba Fett, of Ahsoka do you need to know to watch this? How much of Star Wars do you need to know to understand The Mandalorian and Grogu? I think at bare minimum, you probably would need to have watched The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. But what about other Star Wars? How much of that stuff will we need to know to actually understand what is going on in the show? And how much of those series do you actually have to watch? Because there's some stuff that seemed kind of disconnected from the main storyline of The Mandalorian, but it might be coming into play in The Mandalorian and Grogu. It's going to be a very interesting thing to see, and I do have high hopes, but I don't have super high hopes. I'm not expecting this to be like, the beginning of a brand new saga and things like that. I'm expecting this to be a theatrical TV movie, basically. Not super high tier, not prestige television, not a cinematic masterpiece, but I'm still expecting it to be good and fun, good and enjoyable. Not a masterpiece or anything, but just good and enjoyable. Said those words a lot, they're losing meaning, but it is true. I'm not expecting a masterpiece. I'm not expecting anything super profound. I'm expecting something solid. I'm expecting something fun. I'm expecting something I will want to rewatch again. Not necessarily to analyze it deeper, but just to have a good time. So that's what I'm hoping to get out of The Mandalorian and Grogu. It's been out already about a week or so when this episode, or this video I should say, is dropping, because I am behind on stuff and of course working a full-time job to actually pay the bills. But do let me know your thoughts on The Mandalorian and Grogu in the terms of what you expect to get out of it, or were your expectations met. Do not spoil the film. I will not be looking at the comment section of this video until I watch the film. And once I do that, I will delete comments with spoilers, because people will be coming here not wanting to get spoiled, and I want to respect that decision of them. I will, of course, be making a spoiler-free review and a full-on spoiler review after I watch the film, so please stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, let me know your thoughts on what I had to say here, and what are your hopes, your expectations, your fears for Star Wars, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Thank you for watching my video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like and share. Also, consider subscribing to my channel to stay up to date on all my latest content. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you, always.